Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So I am here today with my relatively late December media haul. So this is all a board game haul, a video game haul, a movie haul, and a book haul, all wrapped into one. And so there are just a bunch of random things here to talk about today. And because I have so few books this time around, I decided I would just put it all into one big Blu-ray haul, one big media haul, whatever you want to call it. So we have lots of different things to look at. I think I'll start with the board game because I only have one of those, and it is media tie-in. It's a media tie-in board game, so it fits the theme here. And then we'll talk books, and then video games, and then finally movies. So lots to do. Let's get right on it. If you guys do enjoy this video, though, please give it a like down below. That support really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in to my December 2021 media haul. So my buddy sent me a picture sometime last month at the Ollie's he was at, and he knows I'm a gigantic Planet of the Apes fan. And it was a Planet of the Apes board game. And so I knew I had to run to my Ollie's to see if they had it. Lo and behold, they did, and I am so excited about this. So this is, as you can see, a Planet of the Apes game, and so this one is from IDW Games. It is 1 to 4 players, and says it takes about 90 to 120 minutes, and it's 14 plus. So take a look at the back here. If I can get this all in frame, like, this just looks awesome. Some of the iconic set pieces are in this. Obviously, all of the characters. This is based on the original Planet of the Apes film, which is just fantastic. I love it so much. I do need to do a review series on this series because I love it so much. But yeah, this is awesome. I've actually not opened it yet. Frankly, I like board games, but I don't play them very often. And why I had to get this one was because it was Planet of the Apes. And the fact that you could actually play this solo has me super intrigued. So maybe I can do a video on this at some point. If you guys are interested in that, let me know down in the comments. But maybe I can do a video of playing this solo and just kind of reviewing it, I guess, and seeing how it plays. Something different for the channel. But this is awesome. I am so glad that my buddy found this and pointed it out to me. Even happier that my Ollie's actually had it. So this was really cheap. I don't know what the price was, but it was super cheap because it was from Ollie's. So just some beautiful cover art here for an awesome looking board game. Planet of the Apes from IDW Games, and that's the board game I ended up finding last month. I forgot there's actually manga in this haul as well, so I'll start with that. If you guys watched my second ever manga reading vlog, which I recommend checking that out if you're interested in manga, it was a fun time. Didn't exactly go as expected, but I still had a really fun time doing it, so check that out if you're interested. But in there, you may have seen that I picked up some manga issues, or manga volumes rather, from Disc Replay. So what we have here is a story called Future Diary, and this is written by Sake Asuno. This is volume 1, and then we have volume 2, and finally volume 3. I really like this green on that cover. I think it just looks really cool. And then I think this looks awesome also. I mean, like, these are just really good covers. So I'll just hold them all up here, I guess. So basically this one, it sounds really interesting. Like, it is following this guy who has this phone that can tell the future, I guess. And so he and like 12 other contestants or something, I think it says on the back here, all end up vying using this app, like vying for control to win this contest and eventually take control of like the world or something along those lines. Like, it sounds just ridiculous, but really interesting. And like, looking at at least the first cover, it almost looks like there might be themes of horror in this, and so I'm super intrigued by that. But yeah, it looks like it might be like a mystery is what it says on the back here, for older teens at that. So let me just show a little bit of the artwork from the start of this, just to give you an idea of what it looks like. So I actually had somebody comment on the manga reading vlog that this was made into a live action series in Japan. And so that is fascinating to me. Honestly, I don't know which came first, the manga or the live action series, but either way, that's super interesting. And so I love comments like that because it always teaches me things. But Future Diary, volumes 1, 2, and 3, 3 more for the manga collection, and buying them used is just the chef's kiss on top. I love it. So those were the manga I ended up finding last month. Sticking with the themes of pictures in books, I'll talk about my graphic novel I found. this giant thing I ended up picking up from Ollie's for a really good price. I think it's, $4. And this is The Fountain. And so you can see on here, this is from the director of Pi and Requiem for a Dream, Darren Aronofsky. I believe, and the artist is Kent Williams. So this is a really well-regarded movie. It's one of my friend's one of his favorite films of all time. I've not actually seen it yet, and so I need to correct that. But I couldn't pass this up when I found it. It is oversized, and it just looks like super beautiful. Let me try to find a... Here we go. Like, it is just gorgeous artwork. This is a lot darker than some of the other pages were, but... The other pages weren't exactly safe for work, so I'm going to show this instead. But it's beautiful, like watercolor design artwork, and just this like fantastical story. So I'm very, very excited I was able to find this one. And this is actually the ultimate director's cut as well. So I think it adds in some things from the original release. And for $4, this giant, beautiful book, like that's a remarkable deal. So thank you, Ollie's, for hooking me up again. So The Fountain is the only graphic novel I found. So let's talk about a couple of the books I picked up. If you guys have been following the channel for any length of time, you know that I am a big true crime junkie, and Anne Rule is one of the all-time greats. So when I saw this book I don't even know where I got this. I guess this was from Second and Charles. I think this was in the clearance bin. So when I found this one, I was thinking, what is this about? What true crime story is this one about? Because I'd never heard of it before. Well, turns out this is actually Anne Rule's first novel. So not a nonfiction book, but rather a fictional story. And I am super excited about this. I had no idea that she ever wrote any fiction at all. So just shows my ignorance. That might be common knowledge to some. But yeah, this one is called Possession, written by Anne Rule. And yeah, like, I am super intrigued to see what this is actually going to be all about. It says that Anne Rule is peerless at capturing the darkly fascinating worlds of America's most twisted criminals. Now this undisputed master of true crime brings her formidable talents to her first novel, a riveting tale of psychological suspense. So, yes, please. I cannot wait to see how she handles this, because I think she writes true crime really well. Just the prose she uses in that is spot on. She's wonderful. And so super intrigued to see exactly how she does the world of fiction. So never even knew this existed. An awesome find from the clearance bin at Second and Charles. Possession, written by Anne Rule, is the first book. And then the second book and the last book is actually a novelization. And I am, again, really excited to have this one in the collection. This is After Earth, so the M. Night Shyamalan film, and this one was adapted by Peter David, who I do have quite a number of Peter David novelizations in my collection. Off the top of my head, I feel like he did The Incredible Hulk novelization, which I do have in my collection, and some others as well, but that's the first one I can think of. So yeah, this of course is the sci-fi movie by M. Night Shyamalan, so with Will Smith and his, I believe that's his son, right? So yeah, very interested to check this one out, see how it compares to the movie, and yeah, just an awesome novelization for that portion of my book collection. You guys know I love it. So After Earth, written by Peter David, based on the M. Night Shyamalan film and script, is the other book that I'm adding to my collection. And those are all of the books I picked up. So now let's talk some video games. The video games I picked up last month are all over the map, and frankly, it was kind of strange that I started picking up video games in December, because leading up, like, for the first 11 months of the year, I picked up a total of, like, 7 games. Like, so few compared to what I normally do in a year, but then I, like, doubled that in the month of December. So, yeah, like, it was just a fun month to pick up video games, and most of these I got either used or super, super cheap. So, I'll go over this one first, just because it's so super random, but this is NCAA 07 or NCAA March Madness 07 for the Xbox 360, and you might be thinking, like, why in the world would you want that? Well, you may or may not know that I do have quite the vast sports video game collection. So quite literally the most worthless video game collection on the planet. That's my collection. Like, I love sports video games, and so I thought it would be fun to collect as many as I possibly can. Now, what's really cool is that this was like $2, and that you might be saying, yeah, it was probably $2 too much. But at this point, a couple of years ago, when I had the idea to start collecting sports video games, they were incredibly cheap. But then COVID happened and everything went up in price, including sports games. Like at Disc Replay now, most all like the PS2 and Xbox era sports games even are at least $10. Like ridiculous. I'm not spending $10 on like Madden 06 on the PS2. Like, that is ridiculous. So this one, it was actually one of the ones that I have been searching for years. I have this on the PS2, but I could not find it on the Xbox 360. This was the first release of this game on the next-gen consoles, at the time, obviously, on the 360. And so for whatever reason, it was just more difficult for me to find. So when I saw it there one day, I had to pick it up because I'd been looking for it for so long. So NCAA March Madness 07, just a random sports game. And then we'll stick with the Xbox and with sports titles because this one went on sale for like $5 at GameStop over the last month. This is Madden 21, and this is the next level edition, I guess, is what it is here. Next level edition. So I don't really know what that comes with. It looks like, Ultimate Team stuff, which I will never use. I hate Ultimate Team modes in sports games. But anyway, Madden 21. I had played Madden 20 a ton. I guess it was last year or maybe the year before into last year. I don't remember. But either way, I love the Madden franchise. I just don't pick them up when they're brand new anymore because they're very samey. And so I'm just at the point now where I'm not playing them as much. And so I don't spend $60 to $70 on them now. Instead, I'll pick it up for $5 when it's a year old. And the other reason is I have Game Pass, and so I have access to the EA games. So Madden 21, I could technically play with my subscription there because it's now available from EA Play. But I figured for $5, I will add the physical copy to my collection and add to my sports collection. So those were the Xbox related games. Now I have one Switch title here, which, did I already talk about this? Oh, you know what? I did talk about this a little bit in my goals for 2022, or my 22 for 22. This was one of the games I hope to play. And actually, I technically have already played this one for more than an hour, so I've already scratched that one off my list. But this is Ty the Tasmanian Tiger HD for the Nintendo Switch, and this is a remake of the PS2 era video game. And it's actually a lot of fun. It is relatively easy. And honestly, I'm playing it in handheld mode right now just because I play almost all of my Switch games in handheld mode. I really think I'll be switching to the, whatever it's called, the Pro Controller, I guess. I think I'm going to switch to that because it just feels like it'll control better using that controller. I find that 3D platformers, like I did the same thing with Super Mario 64, the remake that they released on the port that they released on Switch. I had to use the Pro Controller because it just felt better. So instead of using my Joy-Cons, I think I'm going to switch. But either way, this is a fun game so far. If you like Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, or it's nostalgic to you, you'll probably get a kick out of this one because they do a really good job bringing it up to date, kind of making it feel more modern than it might otherwise feel. All right, so the next set here, I have PlayStation related games, which makes sense because I just got my PS5 in November or October, whatever it was. So I've been going PlayStation crazy a little bit here. So the first one, I will call out GameSack, which if you guys are video game fans, you probably know about the channel GameSack. But he did an episode on the PSVR recently, and he was talking about Blood and Truth for PSVR. My buddy has been raving about Blood and Truth for years, but for whatever reason, I just never went out and bought it until I happened to see that GameSack episode. And this was on sale for really cheap at GameStop. So I went and picked it up used, price matched their online website. And so this is a PlayStation VR game, as you can see up here, and it is basically like a gangster movie, but done in video game form in VR. And everyone I've heard talk about it has said it is one of the best PSVR experiences you can have. So I'm excited to finally add this one to my collection and do some shooting in VR. That's always fun. So my PSVR needs to be busted out again because I have just not played it in quite some time now. But I did get the adapter that I needed for free from for the PS5. So I will be playing that game pretty shortly here. And then another random sports game, NHL 21. And I actually talked about this one in my 22 for 22 as well. And that's the reason I put it on there, because it was just top of mind because I just picked it up. But I got this one in a buy two get one free sale with the next two games I'm going to talk about. So NHL 21 for the PlayStation 4, again, really cheap physical game for the PS4. So I'm all about it when it comes to sports games. And then we have Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning. So a little different from everything else I've been showing here, kind of an action RPG. To be fair, I don't play these too terribly often, but this one looked interesting. And actually, after I bought it, my buddy pointed out, hey, don't you have that from PlayStation Plus? And yep, I do. I didn't think about it. I should have played it there before buying it, but it is what it is. It was buy two, get one free, so I paid very little for all of these, which is awesome. But yeah, this is another remaster, I guess, of the original Kingdoms of Amalur. And so this one is supposed to be really good from everything I've read about it, really strong reviews, and it just looks really nice if you take a look at some of the screenshots there. So yeah, a really cool one for the physical collection, even though I do already own it digitally. You guys know I like to have it physically, so here we are. And then last but not least, kind of the disappointment here, because I was buying this in hopes that it would work on my PS5, but this is Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and I really want to play this game. I love the Call of Duty franchise, and I played up like the campaigns up until this one, but I never bought this one new, and I just never had it since then. And so this is the first time I'm owning it. Now, unfortunately, I have an issue with my router. Like, it won't connect. It's a modem router combo. It will not connect to any Call of Duty games online. And even Halo, multiplayer and Halo Infinite, it wouldn't connect to. So I don't know what I need to get a new modem router. So I didn't return it, even though it doesn't work. So I need to, because I plan to get a new router and modem in the future. So this one, unfortunately, will sit on the shelf until I'm actually able to do that. And I will point out, I'm only trying to play the single player. I don't want to play multiplayer. But in order to do that, you have to connect to their servers, and I can't do that on this one because it gives me some random error. I won't get into it here. It just doesn't work for me. So eventually I will play this one once I update my modem and router combination. I think I'm going to split it out because right now I have a like combo one. My buddy uses them separate, and he actually sent me some ones he recommends that he uses with no issues, but it's a little bit more expensive than I'm really wanting to pay right now, so we'll get to it eventually. But anyway, actually I've got these next three I actually bought brand new. The first one here is Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance, so another random action RPG. The only reason I bought this one is, one, it's a PS5 game. It was really cheap, under $15 cheap, and it has co-op, and so my buddy and I will be able to play this together because he bought it as well. So yeah, honestly, the reviews on this are kind of middling to poor, I will say, but it has the co-op, and that was really the draw, and the price was just really low, so I figured I would pick it up and give it a shot. My buddy and I are actually playing through the next game I'm going to talk about right now, so we haven't started this one yet, but hopefully in the near future we will get to Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance. And then the one we are currently co-oping together is Far Cry 6 on PS5. And this game is just awesome. Like, it is so good. We are probably, I don't know, more than a third of the way through. I would say we're probably close to halfway through. And this is just so much fun. It is just the gigantic open world that you can do almost anything you want in it. And you know, you have all these horses that you're riding. My buddy has a zebra that he rides. You start off with like this alligator that helps you and chomps down people. And then you switch to this little dog. Like, it is just awesome. I am having so much fun with this. Unfortunately, we've kind of been sidetracked a little bit just because of the COVID that I was dealing with last week. And then things for the channel, filming videos and everything. We've kind of been paused a little bit. But we will definitely be getting back to this one, hopefully in the coming days here, because Far Cry 6 is a blast. And it's super cheap right now. I think you can buy this. I think right now, as I'm filming at least, I think it's on sale for like $20 on Amazon, brand new. Cannot recommend it enough. I really am having a great time with it. So the next one, the last one here, the last PS5 game and the last video game period, is one that my buddy, I'm going to talk about him again, he loves this game. And so his talk about it really made me want to pick it up. This is Alan Wake Remastered. Now, this is a game that I've owned on the Xbox 360 for years, but for whatever reason, I never got around to it. I was actually going to play it last year, but then this was announced, and so I said, well, I guess I'll just wait, at this point and play it when it gets remastered. And so I decided to pick this one up on PS5, again, just because it's the new one. So I'm trying to gather some games for it and, I'll play them on there. But yeah, this is a horror video game that is supposed to be really good. It actually is pretty difficult from what I've heard. So that kind of turns me off a little bit because I'm terrible. And so I want easier games. So hopefully I will be able to actually get through this one. But yeah, this is kind of a classic. You probably know what Alan Wake is. And so very excited to have the remastered edition in my collection for the PlayStation 5. So that's all the video games. So now let's talk movies. Of course, we'll start DVD, go Blu-ray, and then wrap it up with 4K. The first two I have here on DVD were actually ones I found from Second and Charles. Super random. Didn't even really know that this series existed. I say that, and then when I looked at the title, I was thinking to myself, man, that kind of rings a bell, but I'd never seen it before. But these were, I thought, really cool finds. We have Tales from the Crypt Keeper, Season 1 and Season 2. So, have you guys ever seen this before? This is basically an animated continuation, I guess, of the Tales from the Crypt series. Now, my thing is here, I honestly don't know who the target audience is on these. I don't know if the target audience is like children, middle grade, or, teenagers, or if it's adult animation. I really just don't know. But these were really cool, so I didn't want to pass them up. Like, they were a good price for TV series I'd never seen before, so I wanted to add them to my collection, and I love the artwork on these is just top notch. I love it. So yeah, this animated spin-off series or sequel series, whatever it is, to Tales from the Crypt. We have Tales from the Crypt Keeper, the complete Season 1 and the complete Season 2. Let me know if you guys have seen these, and if you can, tell me what the audience is. Like, are these for kids or what? I don't care. Like, I watch, animation aimed at children all the time, so I don't mind that. But let me know if you do know what those are. And then the other one here is one that I kind of randomly bought off of Amazon because it was a movie that I'd heard talked about here on YouTube through some other channels I talked to. I think some of the channels I watch are actually featured in this movie, and it is just like, for me, obviously, this is Movie Hoarders from VHS to DVD and beyond. So this is a documentary about people like me, people like us who like to hoard movies and other physical media, but this is focused on movies. And I think there are some people, I don't see them on the back here, but I can't remember who it was that I was listening to or watching that said they were in this, but I believe there are some people I watch that are actually in this movie. So really excited to finally get this movie in my collection. Heard a lot about it. It was a little bit difficult to find when it first came out, at least from what I recall. I believe this one actually did come out last year, but yeah, it was a really good price on Amazon, so I did pick it up, and I am so excited to see kind of like-minded individuals and just see what their collections are like compared to mine. So Movie Hoarders from VHS to DVD and beyond is the last DVD I ended up picking up, and again, if you've seen this one, let me know how it is. But now let's talk some Blu-rays I found. I'll start with this one here because this was actually a Christmas gift through work. We do like a Secret Santa thing at work. And so this was one of the items that I received there. This is Shrek The Ultimate Collection. So what was really cool about Secret Santa program this year is you could literally make a wish list with like Amazon links. So you better believe this one was on there. And I'm so happy they decided to buy this one for me. So this has 6 movies, 10 shorts, and 5 TV episodes. So it is, I don't think it's everything Shrek related, but it is a ton of Shrek related content. My wife and I recently watched the original again, and it holds up really well. I just love the characters, and I love their use of music in that first movie. It might be, I don't know if cheesy is the right word, but it might not stand up as to some people as well as it does for me. But that era of music I really love, like All Star. I just love that stupid song. And so, yeah, like you can see all the items included in this one on the back here. But just a really cool box set that I'm so happy I was able, to be gifted. I cannot wait to watch this entire thing because I really want to watch through the rest of the Shrek movies. And since they're on here, I want to watch the shorts as well. So really cool. Shrek The Ultimate Collection. Again, 6 movies, 10 shorts, and 5 TV episodes. That one was a gift, which is always good. And then we have a shark movie that I think is okay. I don't love this one, but it was on clearance, and I have been wanting to watch it again, so I picked it up from Second and Charles. This is The Shallows with Blake Lively, who is awesome. But yeah, basically this... Our main character here, Blake Lively, swims out somewhere where
she may or may not, may or may not. What am I trying to say? Swims somewhere that she may or may not. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, the words aren't coming to my head.
But she shouldn't be there probably because there's this giant shark. Excuse my brain. Anyway, yeah. So. And it's a shark attack movie. It's exactly what you expect it to be. And this one, honestly, like I always say it, I put 47 meters down and The Shallows kind of together in my head because I think they came out at relatively the same time and they're both shark movies. And so for my money, I liked 47 meters down better than I liked The Shallows, which I know is probably a hot take because most people I think will like this movie better, but Either way, this one wasn't terrible. I just thought it was like a 6 out of 10 type of movie, you know? Not bad, not great, but one that I would like to revisit and give a second chance to. So The Shallows with Blake Lively is the second one I got. Oh, I didn't even realize how fitting. Another shark movie. This one I've not seen yet. This is Great White. And I think I bought this one from Best Buy when just brand new on a whim. I was there one night because it looked really interesting. I love shark attack movies. Look at that cover. It's great. And it has this awesome slip cover. I don't know if you can tell. It's like this matte finish, but it looks really nice. And so, yeah, I don't recognize... Oh, yes, I do. Katrina Bowden is in this, but that's the only character or actress I recognize from this front here. But, yeah, it's going to be a shark attack movie. Like, it's going to be exactly what you think it is. But I think it has a really nice case to it, and I'm intrigued to see if it's any good or not. Haven't heard anything about it, haven't read a single review, but that's okay. And then the last three here, yes, the last three are actually from... where are these from? Big Lots. These are from Big Lots. The first one is Den of Thieves. And I remember this one just because it was a trailer I saw before one of the last movies I saw in theaters way back when, because I haven't been to the theater in a few years. And so this was one of the trailers that was on there, and it looked really interesting on the trailer, but I never really heard anything about it after it came out. It just released and then ended up on home media, and that was kind of the end of it. So this one, I believe they're like breaking into the Federal Reserve, if I'm not mistaken. Like it's this Federal Reserve Bank of downtown Los Angeles, as they're trying to break into there for a heist. So looks interesting, should be a really fun action movie, has a very decent cast in it as well, with Gerard Butler and Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. So that one should be a lot of fun when I get around to it. And then we have The Happy Time Murders with Melissa McCarthy, which I am a huge Melissa McCarthy fan. She's one of my favorites. I think she's just so funny. I know she's a very divisive actress, but I think she's great. And so very excited to finally be able to check out Happy Time Murders. This is like, from what I understand, it's like a hard R-rated comedy with like puppets, so like Sesame Street style puppets mixed with Melissa McCarthy's kind of hard R comedy. So right up my alley. The Heat with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy is just one of my favorite comedies. I love it. I die laughing every single time I watch it. So I'm hoping that this has that similar kind of humor. So excited for this one. The Happy Time Murders with Melissa McCarthy and some Sesame Street style puppets. And then the last Blu-ray I found is another one where not the best movie in the world by any stretch of the imagination. They actually just released this one on 4K, but I wasn't about to spend that much on it. For $3, as you can see on the top here, I'll spend $3 on Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. So this is one that I liked it when I saw it. I thought it was a good movie. It's fun. It's action-packed. Has an interesting fantasy story going with it here. So no real complaints about it. It's just one of those kind of forgettable action movies, I guess. But it's in my collection, so I can give it another shot and see if I think anything differently of it the second time through. And for the price, why not? Like, this is a very decent movie to have in the collection for that price. So Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters from... I don't even know what year this is from, but this one is the last one I picked up on Blu-ray. So I have 3 4K titles. Let's talk about those next. So the first 4K title I have here was like a very late pickup from Disc Replay. I had already checked out with whatever I was buying that day. And then I looked in the back and I was like, what's that down there? And it turned out that it was American Made on 4K with Tom Cruise. So this is a movie that always looked intriguing to me, but I'd never gotten a chance to see it. For like the $6 that this was at Disc Replay used, absolutely, I'm going to add that 4K title to my collection. Now, it does have the slipcover, as you guys can see. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can make it out or not, but like the sticker wouldn't come off fully, so the slipcover's a little messed up, but it is what it is. That's okay. I don't mind too much. The disc is totally fine and the actual case is fine, so I'm cool with that. But, and again, for the price, I shouldn't be complaining at all. But yeah, this one is supposed to be a really good movie. I enjoy Tom Cruise as an actor. I've always enjoyed his output, so I'm guessing that this one will fall into, that category as well. So very excited that I was able to find American Made for such a cheap price on 4K. And then one that I was shocked that was not in my collection, and frankly, I haven't seen this one probably since VHS days. I remember watching it at my uncle's house relatively often, and he had it on VHS, and that's how we'd watch it. But this is Forrest Gump, the 25th anniversary edition on 4K. I'd actually realized relatively recently that I didn't own it, and then it popped up on sale on Amazon a few days or a few weeks after that. So it was serendipitous. I had to pick it up, and this one has like super nice slipcover, and I'm so glad it came with it. It just has a nice like texture to it. I don't know if you can make it out, but like this is raised a little bit, so you have texture on that. It's just a beautifully done slipcover. So yeah, the cover art itself is the same, but just a really nice release with tons of bonus content, over 3 hours of bonus content on this one. So Forrest Gump is not my favorite movie by any stretch, but I've always enjoyed it. It has a lot of heart to it, and Tom Hanks. I have Tom Cruise on the brain, but Tom Hanks is wonderful. Like, he's just such a vulnerable and sincere actor, and this is just a wonderful representation of that. So Forrest Gump is in the collection now, thankfully. Last but not least, we have a 4K Steelbook, and I had been waiting for this one to drop in price, and finally it went on sale at Best Buy. This is actually a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook, and it looks gorgeous. Old, from M. Night Shyamalan. So you guys know I am trying to collect all of M. Night Shyamalan's movies on the physical format, and so this is another one I finally added to the collection, and I've yet to see it. So you can still see it actually is sealed up still, but I will definitely be watching this one soon. This was one that was actually going to end up on my 22 for 22 until I kind of changed the idea of what I was doing with it. But yeah, this is just such a nice Steelbook. I always feel bad once I start filming. I realize I should open it so you guys can see it, but unfortunately this one is not opened yet. So yeah, this is just really cool. So I'm very happy that this Best Buy exclusive Steelbook ended up dropping down in price so that it was where I wanted to, you know, what I wanted to spend on it. So really looking forward to this one. Heard some mixed things, but I'm typically a giant M. Night Shyamalan fan, so I'm excited to see what Old is all about. So Old from the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook on 4K is the last item I picked up in the month of December. All right, guys, so there it is. I'll hold up the video games and the movies at least, but just another really solid month that was December, and added some really cool things to my collection. But let me know if you guys have seen any of these and what is worth prioritizing, and also let me know what you ended up grabbing in the month of December, kind of outside of Christmas, or if you haven't already told me what you picked up during Christmas, tell me that as well down in the comments. I love hearing what you guys grab because it gives me inspiration for future pickups, so always appreciate those comments down below. But as always, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below. That really does help me out, and like I always say, as you can tell by this video, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, video games, manga, graphic novels. If it's media related, I'm interested in it, and if you are too, you might consider subscribing. And I will mention I do have like stacks of other movies over there, but I didn't want to put everything in one video or it would have been super long. So I do have a couple like disc replay hauls to share with you guys over there, some more thrift store hauls, so tons of hauls coming on the horizon. But I do want to do my best of 2021 series. I want to continue that as well. So the idea is that Sunday, this coming Sunday, you guys will see my favorite first time reads of 2021. And then probably the following week, you'll see something dealing with video games. I don't know exactly what I'm doing yet, but it'll be something video game related. So hopefully you guys are interested in those and you'll check back to the channel for that. And also, I guess this is the first video I'm doing where the channel has broken 1,000 subscribers. So a massive thank you to all 1,000 plus of you who have taken the time to hit that subscribe button. Like, I cannot tell you what that means to me. The fact that I've been doing this now for 2 full years, started on January 1st, 2020, and really made an effort at this. It just means so much to me that you guys are caring to tune back in, that I'm, you know, interesting enough that you care to click on the videos again, time and time again. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means so much to me that you've clicked that button. So thank you so much. But with that said, guys, I will wrap it up here. And yeah, I just want to say thank you guys again so much for watching this one. I really do appreciate it. And before I go, as always, I want to encourage you to consume some media today, any type of media. Watch some more YouTube videos, watch a movie, read a book, whatever it is that you like to do. Go for it. All right, guys, so that is it for today. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.